Evidence continues to build that something that seemed initially like a conspiracy theory may actually not be. So for years, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar may have been in an illegal marriage with her biological brother, a species of immigration fraud. Many have alleged this in the past, and it's looking like there could be some fact at the core of it. So on Tuesday, Omar deleted a 6-year-old tweet wishing a happy Father's Day to a man called Nur Saeed. Omar's ex-husband was called Ahmed Nur Saeed Elmi. So in Somali culture, a man's middle name is typically his father's name. That would suggest that this was a father and son. In other words, she would have been married to her biological brother. In a statement, Congresswoman Omar's office gave the justification for deleting the tweet. She said this: Representative Omar and her family are subject to constant threats. When people write vile things on posts about people she loves, including posting disturbing doctored images, she takes them down. Nur Saeed means happy light. It's been her dad's nickname since she was a kid. He has a public page with the same name. She isn't deleting it for the disturbing and hateful reasons that are being implied by conspiracy theorists, and legitimate media outlets should not be spreading conspiracy theories. End quote. Her office, in other words, trying to decide what the news media covers. We're going to bull forward anyway, though, in search of the truth, and for that we go to Scott Johnson tonight. He's an attorney who writes for the blog Powerline. He's covered the story from the very beginning, and he joins us tonight. Scott, thanks so much for coming on tonight. So what do you make of the fact that she wrote this tweet in the first place? What does it tell us about the identity of her first husband, do you think?
Well, I think I should just say at the top, Tucker, this is the third or fourth time you've had me on, and I've been working on this story for 3 years since she won the DFL primary to run for state legislator 3 years ago in August of 2016. And it's become clearer every day, in particular this year, that she, in fact, married her brother in the year 2009 for fraudulent purposes and has been in a frenzy to delete social media evidence supporting that fact for the past 3 years. And this tweet is one she somehow overlooked because it's kind of obscure, it's kind of in the weeds. You did a good job setting it up, and Luke Rosiak at Daily Caller also has a good piece with a long explanation with additional commentary on how this fits in. It's one small piece of the puzzle that I think establishes the fact and conclusion that what she did in 2009 is marry her brother. She didn't get around to divorcing him till the year 2017, and in between those years she committed frauds of a wide variety that are of an incredible nature. We've never seen anything like it before. It's an incredible story, and this one is ready for Fox Nation.
Well, it's a remarkable story. And in fact, it's so remarkable that it almost makes it hard to explain because it's just so crazy. She married her brother. She committed immigration fraud. By the way, no one's suggesting there was any romantic link between them, but they're suggesting that it was fraudulent. So what is his statement on this? Where is this man? Have reporters spoken to him?
The last reporter who spoke to him was a Minneapolis reporter at the time, Priya Samsunder, in the year 2016, who actually tracked him down in London and communicated by email with him. She asked him whether he appeared with Omar in a picture of the two of them in London, if I recall correctly, and whether he had married her. And I believe he acknowledged that he was in the picture, but he didn't recall marrying her. But, you know, the interesting thing, I've reached the conclusion. Last time I was on, you asked me what my level of certainty on this story was. I'm up to 100% based on my own reporting. The guy who hasn't talked at all is Ahmed Hirsi, and that's the real husband and father of Ilhan Omar's children, whom she's now estranged from because of the affair that has been covered by the tabloid media in New York and London. And my sources include friends of Mr. Hirsi who tell me, as of last month, that he's saying things such as, I'm not going to go to jail for her, that she's been threatening him, that if he were to say anything, he'd be in just as much trouble as she would, and the like. And it's made me conclude with absolute certainty that we're in the middle of an unprecedented scandal in which a member of Congress married a sibling for fraudulent reasons.
This is a story that we should not ignore. It's not a prurient story. It's a serious story, and we should not be intimidated or deterred from covering it. I know that you won't be, and I hope you'll join us as you find more. Scott Johnson, thanks for that.
Thank you very much, Tucker.